Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now October 27th of 2022, and with Tales of the Jedi now officially released, of course, on Disney+, a lot of fans have been enjoying episodes 1 through 6 altogether, as well as looking forward to what John and Dave have in store for the new universe that's really going to kickstart in 2023, starting off with Mando Season 3. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about this new universe that remains intact, because John and Dave are really doing quite an excellent job so far, with all of the releases and announcements that are being pretty much formed behind the scenes. I mean, Mando 3 and Ahsoka, I think, are going to be pretty much a home run for Star Wars. This is really going to kickstart the golden age of the franchise by John and Dave. Now, it doesn't end there, however. What's really exciting, of course, that has everything to do with John and Dave is the fact of what they recently signed on for with Disney, of course, via the Disney executives, CEO Bob Chapek, and what they are all preparing to do for this massive Star Wars universe moving ahead. Now, that brings us to the next scenario. We already know that John and Dave recently gave a big interview just a couple of days ago. You guys may have seen it. They're on video. They're talking about the future of Star Wars. They're talking about their ambitions. They're talking about their goals. And they really do talk about George Lucas a lot and how it's always the right thing to respect the man, and I like how they always mention him. So, where we are right now is that given that both Favreau and Filoni are getting ready to make some heavy announcements at Celebration next year that will excite the fandom. However, it's described that currently both Favreau and Filoni recently signed something truly exciting with Disney with the Star Wars franchise when it comes to a major deal that is going to expand the Star Wars universe beyond any fans' expectations. Now, just recently, Favreau and Filoni signed a deal with Disney to extend their work within the Star Wars franchise that is going to stretch now with them working on 30 Star Wars projects. This is said to be a mixture of Star Wars movies and TV shows, all of which will mostly be live-action Star Wars projects. Now, this deal that they recently signed with Disney is said to go into effect after both Mando 3 and Ahsoka releases, and that those projects do not count toward the list of 30 Star Wars projects that they are working on. This deal also includes George Lucas to work with Favreau and Filoni on all of the new shows, to some extent in different ways per show and/or movie. Now, this deal is set to also include Favreau and Filoni not only having complete control over the series, but also how these projects will include over 6 whole different eras of the Star Wars franchise. So let that sink in for a moment there. Let's just pause there. The fact that this deal is going to have given the ability for John and Dave to explore 6 different eras of the Star Wars universe. This could very well apply to post for that Rise of Skywalker stuff, as we've been talking about. Some of that is in the works. Old Republic stuff, that's in the works too. That's just 2 eras. Then you got what's already in existence. You got, of course, the post-Return of the Jedi content, everything that comes within the Mandoverse era. You know, that's half of which that they're working on. So that remains 3 other eras that are going to be pretty much introduced in the franchise. Now, given that Favreau and Filoni have made it clear to the fans that what they ultimately want to do with, of course, George Lucas is that they want to also bring back not just Legends, but all the abandoned concepts for Legends that did not make it past 2013. You guys may have not known about this, but when Disney bought out Lucasfilm actually had a whole chart, a whole roadmap of Legends material to be made from 2014 until 2016. That's a lot of material that could very well be used for live action stuff that they're going to now uncover and throw into the current canon. So it's a real interesting time to be a Star Wars fan, and I'm sure a lot of you will agree that things are looking a little bit brighter. I think that Dave Filoni is on his A game with Tales of the Jedi. I thought it was fantastic. Were they short episodes? Yes, but they were meant to be. You know, this was really kind of like a little, thing, icing on the cake at the very end of 2022 before we get into the real big stuff. So Dave Filoni knows what he's doing there. He knows how to keep the fans engaged. There's already talks of a season 2 of Tales of the Jedi where they want to extend the episodes and explore other characters in different ways possible. And we'll talk about that later. But both Jon and Dave now signed on to take care of 6 new points in time in the franchise that's going to be considered a multi-season show for the fan base to engage with. Now, this is also described to be a big step for Disney to allow Jon and Dave to actually build a new Legends universe for the hardcore fans. Favreau is set to make this public and officially announce sometime at next year's Celebration event, showcasing a list of projects that will tease this 30 Star Wars project deal that Jon and Dave signed on for. Now, Jon is said to be taking this time away from Marvel in order to focus more so on Star Wars. Now, obviously, in case you guys did not know, Jon still had quite a number of connections with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's essentially going to be giving that up once this deal begins. So, this really goes to show you that Disney is really trying to go all out, and 30 projects may seem like a lot, and it may seem a little excessive, but think about it this way. If they're all quality driven, if they're all great stories to be told, most of which will be live action, some of which will be animated, it's safe to say maybe around 15 to 20% will be live action, or should I say animated, and the remaining percent will be live. So there's a lot of things going into this. I mean, you can see that Jon and Dave really are, and literally creating, a library's worth of Star Wars shows, movies, lore, canon, and more. Now, the thing about this too that I think a lot of fans need to know about is how Lucasfilm is also going to be hiring new creatives and swapping out some of the old ones. And that means you're going to have more talented visual artists, more talented cinematographers, other types of talent coming on board that's going to work hand in hand, specifically with Favreau and Filoni. And I think that's also going to up the game. It's going to really make them focus on quality and really making these shows stand out. So like I say, guys, where we are today, it's already the tail end of October. We're in the final days now before we get into November. And then once we hit January, we got Bad Batch Season 2. Followed by that, we got Mando 3, then Ahsoka, and more. So, we got a lot of things coming out next year, and there's a lot of things to look forward to in 2024 as well, and the list just keeps on building, and it will further continue to build as long as Favreau and Filoni know what they're doing. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.